Yo, this is your boy Chromatics, and this is the breakdown of the Carnival Rap Up 2025, verse 2. See, Carnival is now a business, and culture comes second, where true calypsonians has make them feel threatened. You know, a lot of people have commented on the lack of all-inclusivity of Carnival. It's very expensive to fet and be a part of a lot of the bigger events in Carnival, and the cultural events have somewhat taken a back seat. So I always try to remind people to bring us back a little bit to ourselves. Everything that we create culturally, the businesses and corporate entities somehow always want to attach themselves. So that first line in the second verse was a representation of where culture does take a backseat to corporate interests, where true calypsonians does make them feel threatened. And the reason why I put that picture of Kurt Allen in the video is because he was singing a song that was politically charged and going at the then current Prime Minister of the country. He could have chosen not to sing about that, and I'm sure he probably got, boy, you know, if you're going to sing about that, they're going to give you toilet paper and you ain't going to get certain links or whatever. And I think a true artist that goes against those fears and other people's fears is the mark of a true creative. So off of that, we're dealing with the cultural aspect and highlighting the cultural aspect. I's the midnight robber, a devil in blue paint, while you spend your child's school fees to fet with the saints. So here I go now to sort of relate to me now as the midnight robber. I telling you these things in the true traditional midnight robber way. The devil in blue paint, representing blue devils, part of the culture, while you spend your child's school fees to fet with the saints. So that's a sort of juxtaposition of the devil, but the saints. But what is it really, you know what I mean? Fet with the saints being CIC Fet, St. Mary's, and we all know that that is probably one of the most expensive events for anybody to attend during the carnival. You know, we always had to talk about people that take out loans to play a mass and go to the events for the carnival season. But who really benefits off of these things? Is it the cultural practitioners or is it the banks? Or is it the promoters? So just that juxtaposition once again of culture and business. Come too close to the stage, lies go weave in your face. It's hypocrisy at its highest. Let me deal with the case. So that's with regards to this viral video that was going around during the carnival season with this lady that was in front of the stage, but she was enjoying herself so much that she flinging up her hair and it hitting another patron in the back. So if you come too close to the stage, lies go weave in your face. In other words, you know, the weave was hitting the lady in the back in the face. It was a double entendre once again. Yeah, are the things that people are really saying, they mean it, or they're just saying it because it's good to say right now? Is the right thing to say right now? So henceforth, that goes into the next line of Marshall said, less competition, we need more collaboration. Then you do a collaboration and enter a competition. So earlier in the season, there was this release of another rhythm. I think it was a pineapple rhythm or something. So, and that's what he was quoted as saying in different news publications, of saying that, you know, competition is like a thing of the past and we shouldn't really focus it anymore. We need to focus on more collaboration, etc., etc. But then he does a collaboration with Drupati and Lady Lava and enters a competition. It's like, all right. But there's new competition, the ultimate Soca champion. Every man jack jump out just to try and win $1 million, meaning there's this new entity of the ultimate Soca champion, but also meaning younger artists in the fray, in the mix. And then I say every man jack jump out just to try and win $1 million. So they promoted that the winner of the ultimate Soca champion will obviously win $1 million. But still, Orlando had to ask them what they bring into the table. And Saki, you could have leave that horse shit in the stable. Big up Saki, big up Orlando still. That was just something funny I just wanted to put in it. Because the funny thing is, both songs, Saki had a song, What You Bring Into the Table, and Orlando's song, Auction, is also talking about what a man is bringing to the table in a relationship. So I kind of highlighted them singing almost the same topic, right, in the competition. But then Saki come on stage, big elaborate presentation, and there's the horse shitting on stage. So you should have leave that horse shit in this table, dog. Not meaning that necessarily that the song was shit or whatever, you know what I mean? But you just should have leave that horse shit in this table, though. I leave it up for interpretation. But the horse shit was literal. You know what I mean? I see Iowa George drop out, no reason was mentioned. Right after Sonny Bling tell him to start drawing the pension. A blacker than X and she knew, man. Probably have a screw pan. When he reach back Grenada, they might offer him a threesome. So, of course, in the mix, Iowa was it was part of the Ultimate Soca Champion. He was competing in it, but then he dropped out. You know, around that same time, Sonny Bling was there live with Iowa and did a post where he called Iowa the pensioner and anything. Iowa did say he would give a reason on why he dropped out after the competition, but he never did. So, you know, one is left to wonder if it was when Sonny tell him, hey, is a pensioner? Is he pensioner anything? Now, I could have go different ways with the whole Blacker Dan thing, right? Because other people, oh, you from Grenada, and I think people love the song so much. It connected with people on a different level. And there was a meme going around about Blacker Dan X must be sick because he come and write this song about this situation that he went through, seeing his ex-girlfriend, which he knew, man. And I know how that'll go, that'll be heartbreaking, boy. But out of these situations, a lot of times comes great art. And out of know that the man come Trinidad and is a multi-millionaire now. So I was basically, you know, playing off of that meme. You see, the thing is now, social media culture, and everybody has their own take and their own little meme. So it's almost difficult for me now to come up with different ways to put things. When you see a take online that is very funny, it's like, all right, how do I come and put it differently? So I was basically saying, hey, when you reach back Grenada with the million, the ex and the new man might offer him a threesome. Yo, whatever. Marsha said, bet me, but I find you looking fat. Like what a Nessa preppy panty. You can't go for crumb with that. So Marsha said, bet me. So that's the song that he chose to defend his calypso monarch crown with on the night of the marsh grab. But I find you looking fat. Marsha, like, he put all the weight for the season. And then, of course, on the night, he had this apparatus around him that made him look even extra fat. Like what a Nessa preppy panty. Of course, for those who don't know, shout out my boy Pun, Nessa Preppy had a song out for the Carnival. Things so fat, it could barely fit in the panty. People were talking about that lyric in particular. So Marsha looking fat, like what's in this Nessa Preppy panty? You can't go for crown with that. Crazy, historical, legendary calypsonian. He had a song that he put out that was called You Can't Go For Crown With That. You can't go fuck wrong with that, right? You can't go for crown. You can't go for the crown with that. In other words, you can't go, Marsha, you can't go for the crown with Batman. So henceforth now goes into the next line. All them strings you try to pull, how you go forget your lyrics? If you needed someone to sing it, you should have hired Bridget. When I'm talking about all them strings you try to pull, he tried to put on this elaborate presentation. And there was a video, of course, going around where he was trying to start a motorbike for his intro of the performance, and he was pulling that, so he pulling that string there. So that string ain't work, and then the strings that lifting him off the ground, them strings ain't work to win. So it's kind of based off of that, you know, all them strings you try to pull, and you're still there with. But how you go forget your lyrics? I think he knew that the song wasn't lyrically strong, so he wrote some new verses. Or somebody wrote some new verses, and clearly on the night he didn't deliver them as good as he could. So I was like, you know, I mean, if you needed someone to sing it, I know the lyrics, you should have hired Bridget. And of course, we know the feel-good moment, one of the many feel-good moments of Carnival 2025, when one of Machel Montano's fans came on stage and sang his song when he lost his voice in an event. So yeah, so big up to Bridget, man. And then I go on to say, it's moments like that prove we is a blessed land, where every creed and race is lined up by the double stand. As I say, that was a feel-good moment with Bridget singing Marsha's lyrics. It's moments like that prove we is a blessed land, where every creed and race is lined up by the double stand. By the double stand, you can see every ethnicity, every class, every economic tier in Trinidad and Tobago lined up by the double stand. And to me, by the double stand is a clear representation of who we are as a people. That's why when now I go into the next line is when Kizelle Jackson and she BBL Bam Bam start to talk about that water must be talking about she man. Well, me I know about that. And I find that to be somewhat very off-putting and offensive to come on and talk about people that make doubles with dead water. I find that is a knock on the hard-working entrepreneurs out there who go out there every day, get up 2-3 in the morning and come and make hot doubles for the people to eat in the morning. Watch my doubles, they save lives. You understand what I'm saying? So I felt offended. You come in and say that talk there, you know what I mean? You'll get born out for that. Talking about man, Beanie, I find you fast. You could say you do like doubles, but you ain't have to be so crass. Saying you only eat what dog does eat. Let me remind your ass that lion don't eat grass and dog does lick their own ass. You know, I have to give Beanie something big, you know? A lot of times people just hit me up when they see things happen and they're like, Matic gotta talk about this, Matic gotta talk about this, Matic gotta talk about this. And I gotta represent for them. You know, the Carnival Rap Up, it's no longer my song. It's a song for the people who love it and want to hear it and they want to hear certain things. So, you know, there's like deal with Beanie, so I deal with him. I mean, it was a great interview that he did with Nori and them on Drink Champs, but don't diss the doubles, dog. Don't diss the doubles, dog. Shit. And that was the breakdown of the Carnival Rap Up 2025, verse 2. Right? Keep it locked once again. Make sure and go and like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, Carnival Rap Up 2025 from yours truly, Chromatics. Follow me on Instagram at Chromatics Music. And once again, big up to the sponsors, donate68.com, Barcode Tobago, and Devine's Plumbing and General Services.